In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. Albert Einstein said it. But was he right? Are there any great opportunities we should take advantage of that lay in this COVID-19 pandemic? After all, it is a crisis of global proportions. We will try to take a closer look to some of the facts we should pay more attention to during and after the crisis. These facts may bring to light some opportunities, some solutions to the issues we are facing now and we will face in our not too distant future here on Earth, if this business as usual model will continue to dominate our general behavior. And so far, we do not seem willing to behave otherwise. Seen as an ongoing global experiment, this crisis offers us the chance to evaluate our general approach to human interrelationships, to national and international institutions, and also to overall perspective on medicine and technology, both tested by the pandemic in serious degrees. I have grouped these lessons and possible opportunities the COVID-19 crisis have presented us with in two not very distinct categories. Firstly, we will talk about things that we should have already known, but which this pandemic made more obvious. And secondly, we will scrutinize some of the lessons that we should learn once this pandemic is gone. Lessons that may strengthen us for the tumultuous future that's impatiently waiting. However, it will depend entirely on us, both individually and collectively, if we will fail to overcome the challenges or not, if we will ignore the opportunities offered by this pandemic or not. I strongly believe that we shouldn't. What we should have known already. The world seems a lot smaller than it used to be, and we are increasingly interconnected. And what happens anywhere in the world echoes in various degrees everywhere else. Therefore, the problems we face are bigger. If it does not seem to be the case, it's only because we choose to ignore many of these echoes. It's always easier to ignore something than to deal with it, and we have a natural tendency to choose the easier path. We humans are believers. We like to believe and we want to believe. So it should not come as a surprise that science or the COVID-19 pandemic became a matter of belief. The main reason for that is that we are wanderers, a curious species, and we ask questions to others and to ourselves about everything. It is the way we understand our environment. It is the way we construct in our minds the world, even though we do not always ask the right questions, nor answer the right answers. However, in order to answer all these questions, we need answers that we can comprehend. It is impossible for us to believe is true something that we cannot understand. And because the truth is always more complicated than lies, we tend to believe the stories that are false more often than those that are true. Nevertheless, truth is precious, and like many other precious things, it is not always easy to be found. But truth is always preferable to lies, no matter how sweet lies may sound. For that we have education, and education is now more important than ever before. Yes, it has always been important, but our focus should now shift from acquiring and retaining information, which they can be found everywhere in overwhelming amounts, to strengthening the ability to filter between what's true and authentic and what is not. Not what we learn, it's more important today, but where we learn it from. There is a lot of deceiving information out there. Sailing in calm waters is no more. We are in troubled waters already. We are in love with our comfort zones. Paradoxically, we are willing to step out of our comfort zones in order to protect them, to protect our habits and our routine and resist change. Normal is permanently changing. What is normal today may become abnormal tomorrow. In some degree, this was always true, but the pace of changing is drastically increased today. We should prepare ourselves to change more often and more radically than ever before. Because everything is changing so fast, our decision-making pace is enormously increased as well. That means we are prone to making more mistakes. So one way or another, we should try to increase our awareness. We need leaders. We have a deeper and more significant relation with our leaders than we would like to believe. We want to trust them, and we want to follow them. It is, and it has always been, humans' way of life. But there are many leaders everywhere nowadays. This means that we should be careful who we trust and always keep in mind that those telling us what we want to hear are the ones we should doubt the most. Humans are social animals. So we like to meet other people a lot more than we realize. That is why many of us vehemently opposed measures that limited our contacts with others. Sometimes we need to be deprived of something to realize how much we appreciate it. Freedom is our biggest power, and without it, we are lost. We are animals, and like any other animals, we love freedom, and freedom defines us. Losing it hurts and alienates us. There is no coincidence that humans' worst penalty is deprivation of freedom. Freedom is our most precious thread. We started to disconnect from real life. Big chunks of our lives moved online, so the virtual reality started to take over. But ignoring reality, it's a very dangerous game. The real life, it's called real for a reason. It is the only life we have. Yes, ignoring our real life began long before the pandemic, but COVID-19 shows us the magnitude of the phenomenon, and it is also dangerously increasing it.